U.S. President Joe Biden will deliver his annual State of the Union address to Congress later tonight. It's set to be a high-stakes speech, with Mr. Biden expected to use the occasion to make his pitch for a second term, with the looming threat of an expected rematch with predecessor Donald Trump. Caroline Malone reports from Washington.
We can secure our border, fix the immigration system to be orderly, fair, safe, and humane.
President Joe Biden has taken his campaign to the border between the US and Mexico, recognition that it's one of the major issues resonating with voters. Results from the primaries, including on Tuesday when people in 15 states and 1 territory voted for a presidential candidate within political parties, show immigration is one of the reasons people came out to vote for Donald Trump. There was a strong showing for Biden as the Democratic candidate in most states, but in protest of US support of Israel in the war against Hamas and the humanitarian crisis and death toll in Gaza, some people, particularly Arab Americans, did not vote for any candidate.
We actually didn't vote, so we just wrote Free Palestine on our ballots, and we voted for no one because we're tired of being told that you have to vote for the lesser of two evils. They're both evil, and there's over 30,000 people dead.
Before Nikki Haley ended her campaign, she drew urban and well-educated voters away from both Trump and Biden, and is the first woman to win a Republican primary in Washington, D.C. and Vermont.
She would definitely want to see the funding go through for Ukraine and Israel and for the Indo-Pacific. She has called for Congress to pass the funding that they need to prosecute this war against Russia, this war of aggression.
Ukraine funding continues to be caught up in Congress as part of a wider debate over spending on foreign aid, including Israel and Asia-Pacific security. Analysts view foreign policy as less important to most voters than domestic issues like the border, the cost of living and government spending. But Biden is likely to address those issues along with abortion, women's rights and the threat to democracy from another Trump presidency in his State of the Union speech later on Thursday.
Biden, almost had a British House of Commons type deal where he'd go back and forth with some of the Republicans in the audience, which was a little different, but I think that those types of theatrics could probably help him because I think one of the biggest strikes against him is his age. And, he can't really do anything about that, but just be able to appear vigorous, appearing like a fighter.
Biden's age, and to a smaller extent the risk of wider conflict in the Middle East, may count against him. He has been pushing for a ceasefire deal in Gaza ahead of the Muslim holy month of Ramadan, which could ease some voter concerns. Just after Super Tuesday, and one thing is clear, it's now a two-horse race for the White House between Biden and Trump. The presidential ballot is still 8 months away, but current polls show Trump doing well against Biden if an election was held today. Caroline Malone, CNA, Washington.